Welcome to the Value Proposition by the Fitness Business Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Pellegrino. The Value Proposition was created specifically for industry suppliers to showcase the value that they bring to health club owners and operators beyond their product or service. Today, we're going to be learning the value proposition for raising the bar with Eleiko. We'll be speaking with the team at Eleiko to learn about their process, the premium products they create, and why, to be the best, it's important to train with the best. With us today, we have Rickard Blomberg, president of Eleiko, Surya Cox, Eleiko's head of marketing, and Rodney Korn, Eleiko's director of education. Rickard is going to start us off today with our 3 real minutes, or 3RM as we like to say, to give us some background on Eleiko. Rickard, Eleiko is your family's company. It was founded in 1957. Tell us briefly about why the company was created and the family members that still work with you today.
Thank you, Sarah. It's great to be here. We really appreciate you taking time and speak to us and allowing us a chance to tell a little bit more about our company and what we do and the value that we can offer to gyms out there all over the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's great. And as you said, we are a family company. I would say we are a true family company. Pretty much everybody are involved in it. I have been running the US operation here, or actually North American operation, for the past 11 years. And I work very closely with my brother, who's the CEO in Sweden, for our corporate office. And my second brother, Hans, is based in Spain, where he runs our tech team. So he handles all our internal systems and all that, making sure that we can provide a great purchasing experience and delivery system for our customers when they order from us. And we also have a sister who's a little bit involved as well. And our mother is still on the board of the company. So we're truly all involved here. To give you a little bit of background, just a little bit of history when it came to Eleiko. We are probably one of the oldest fitness companies in the industry here. You said we were founded in 1957. We actually go a little bit further back. The company itself was started in 1927 in Halmstad, where we are based in Sweden on the West Coast. And the company was actually founded it wasn't by our family, but it was founded by Mr. Johansson, who ran a small entrepreneurial company that were making waffle irons and toasters. It was an electrical company that had nothing to do with weightlifting at all. And Mr. Johansson actually passed away sometime in the mid-40s. So Mrs. Johansson had to make a choice whether or not she was going to continue run the company or not. She had 2 sons, 2 young sons. She basically said, I'm going to continue running this company for them, because it was quite unusual to have a woman run a company at that time in Sweden. So she continued running the company. And in 1957 was when the head of the factory, Mr. Hellström, came in. We say it's a Monday morning to Miss Johansson, to her office, and said, Mrs. Johansson, I think that we should start making weightlifting barbells. And she had no experience with weightlifting barbells, but it turns out that Mr. Hellström was a weightlifter. And he had identified an issue with weightlifting barbells that tended to bend and break. And when you run a competition like a world championship in weightlifting, you had to have 15, 20 bars just to kind of get through that competition. So he had this idea about how to make a revolutionary barbell that was incredibly strong, yet very flexible, so you can get some help in the lifting with it. A perfect grip with a knurling, and we always say that the knurling pattern resembles the waffle irons that we were actually initially making. And the rotation of the sleeves in the lift, when you do the lift in a clean or a snatch, needed to be perfect with needle bearings. He had this idea about how to make this barbell. So he asked for permission if he can do it. And Mrs. Johansson said, sure, just try it out. It was entrepreneurial spirit, which was something that was in the company at that time and still is in the company. So he said, sure, go ahead, try it out. And it became an immediate success. So it was in 1963 that it was used for the first time in a world championship of weightlifting. It was in Stockholm. And it has pretty much set the standard, the gold standard for weightlifting bars ever since. It's regarded as the gold standard of weightlifting barbells, which we are very, 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 very proud of, and humbled for the fact that people really appreciate our products that much.
Such a cool history. I love that so much, Rickard. And what other products do you, besides the barbell, what other products are you all making today?
Yes, I mean, the weightlifting bar and later on the powerlifting bars has always been our key product. That is what we've been famous for. But we have expanded into so many different areas now that we are a true provider of pretty much any kind of free weight strength training equipment that you can find in a gym. And that's our philosophy, which I think we'll talk about a little bit later as well. It's really about free weight training, functional training, lifting at its essence, where it comes from weightlifting and powerlifting, because we see so many benefits of that type of training in people's lives. But right now, we do kettlebells and dumbbells and racks and platforms for lifting, making sure that we provide solutions around that too. So, and obviously benches and all types of things, specifically focused around strength training.
Okay, awesome. Great. Thank you so much. Now, I know Eleiko to be a premium brand, and we've talked about the history of what, set you apart from the competition, but what is it today that still makes the company produce products that are just so elite?
Yeah, one of our main objectives, one of the company's goals is that we want to create best-in-class products. And that could differ between, whether or not you're doing a product for professional weightlifting that will be used in the Olympics or World Championships. We want to create the absolute best-in-class product for that market. When you're looking at, obviously, the weightlifting has trickled down into becoming, let's say, mainstream in gyms and CrossFits all across the world. So when we're looking at our CrossFit products, they are best in class when it comes to CrossFit products. So I think that's really what sets us apart when it comes to being premium in the sense of that. The quality, obviously, it needs to hold up. It needs to last a very long time. We're not talking about being an expense when you buy a product from us. We're hoping that our customers see it more as an investment in something that will last for a very, very long time.
That's very important. Well, thank you so much, Rickard, for going into the 3RM for us and giving our listeners some background on the history of Eleiko, your brand, and the products that you create. So you and I spoke last week about the fact that your bars don't bend. You just spoke about that in the first question. I love that. So tell us who today is using your bars the most and why that fact that they don't bend. Why is that so important?
Yeah, Sarah, this is an interesting question because I've seen the tremendous interest that have come up in terms of weightlifting and strength training and powerlifting movements over the last 15 years. I personally think that CrossFit has had a huge impact on that, being able to make weightlifting accessible to so many people. CrossFit has probably driven that, and now you see commercial gyms coming to us and saying that, oh, hey, all our members want to lift weights. It used to be that you weren't really allowed to drop weights in a gym or something like that. So we have seen that our products are now being used, obviously, in CrossFits and functional training centers to commercial gyms. We work with a lot of commercial gyms outfitting the entire strength training area. We are obviously incredibly happy here. So we're based in the US, the team here, and we're very happy to see that a lot of our colleges and universities, Division I schools, their programs are using our products because they see that our products have been tested and tried at the highest level with weightlifting and powerlifting, the championships. So they know it's been tested, they know it's going to last. So that's why the performance, the colleges, universities, their strength training programs appreciates our products. Something that also is a big market for us here is the military, and different type of federal entities appreciates the quality of our products as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, Eleiko sells a lot of products. We got into that: barbells, plates, dumbbells. I saw on your website too, clothing, flooring. What would you say? I'm assuming your best-selling product is that bar, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but which of your products do you wish customers knew more about?
A lot of people, I think, just associate with the weightlifting bar, which is the gold standard. And it's something we are incredibly passionate about making. We have people in our factory who's been making these bars for 30 years and they still make them. So there goes a lot of passion into our weightlifting bars, but that obviously spreads out into every single one of our products. When we talked about making weightlifting accessible for anybody, especially in the commercial gym setting, where traditionally it has been a little bit frowned upon to actually drop weights and doing something that is very noisy, could be regarded as noisy. It creates vibrations in the building and might disturb neighbors, especially if you're on the second floor, for example, it will disturb neighbors. There's a lot of issues with that. We sought out a way to try and solve that problem because we wanted to make lifting available to so many more people. So we looked at the issues that we looked at sound. When you go into a commercial gym, sometimes you don't want a lot of slamming weights and things like that. So sound is important. the vibrations, vibrations transferring into the building, especially if you're on the second floor, it can be quite a big issue. And then you got the safety aspect as well, where, you're dropping a weight and you don't want it to bounce all over the place. And so there's the safety aspect as well. So what we developed was what we call it the SVR platform, which is the sound and vibration reducing platform. So it's basically a lifting area, a platform where you drop the weight, which absorbs the sound and minimizes the vibrations. So you can actually put this on the second floor. We have a couple of gyms out there that have spas underneath the lifting area, which was just, they got complaints all the time about slamming weights. And this issue has been completely eliminated. So they were able to solve that issue just by installing one of our SVR platforms. I know especially in big cities like New York City and where you have a lot of buildings, you can definitely get complaints from other tenants as well in the building. So this issue has really solved a lot of lawsuits for a lot of people where they've been basically had to leave the building if they couldn't solve this problem. So that has been an incredibly successful product, because what it has allowed us to do is make lifting more accessible to so many more people, and it allowed the gyms out there to really accommodate the needs of their members, because they're requesting this. They're going to drop the weights no matter what. So if we can find a way to help them eliminate the problems, we think that's a good thing.
I love that. You had a problem, you solved for it, and it's an additional.
Yep.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. Now, Rickard, we are on the value proposition. And when purchasing an Eleiko product, your customers know that they're getting a quality brand and product, right? Now, have you ever considered lowering your price point to be a bit more competitive?
Good question, because we get this. And I'm not gonna. I have to say that we are probably going to be one of the most expensive options out there. But we think that there's like I said, there's so much passion that goes into our products, and we want to create the best in class product in whatever category it is that we're doing. So for example, when we design a weightlifting barbell for professional weightlifting, or a powerlifting bar for professional powerlifting competitions, it should be the best bar in that class. And that costs a little bit more to make, of course. Then when you're looking at, let's say CrossFit or functional training or hybrid training, or however you want to define it, you need probably a lot more barbells. You need to make sure that you get a whole group in, 30, 40, 50 bars maybe. You need something that will hold up for a lot of repetitions. So we looked at, when we're designing something like that, you can't buy our competition bars for that type of training. So we looked at certain things that we can make. What is the best in class product in that category, and developed our XF line of products, which is our barbell for this type of functional training. And it is still the best bar in that category. Something we will never change the steel in our bars, because with an Eleiko product, there still comes a certain expectation that it should hold up. It shouldn't bend with regular training. It should have that Eleiko feeling no matter which category you're in with the lifting. So there are certain things that we will never change. We will not change the steel, for example. We'll just continue to improve on it, but we will not sacrifice saving any cost there. But there are certain things that we try and tweak with innovation, which is very important to us. So you just know that you're going to get the best in class product when you get something from us.
I love it. That is so great. And you teed me up perfectly, Rickard. So speaking of quality, Surya, I'm coming to you. I'd love to hear from you about the dumbbell test. So I go to your Instagram and your website, and I see someone throwing a dumbbell out the window, and there really is just no better way to show that this is a quality product. So tell us how you and your team came up with the idea for that marketing campaign.
Well, it's pretty simple. Quality and durability are at the core of what we do, and thorough testing is an essential part of that. And the idea for the video was actually rooted in the testing that was done as part of the product development process. During the development, the dumbbell was dropped 5 times from 5 meters to simulate a drop from the first floor. It was dropped 500 times from 1.5 meters to simulate a drop from chest height, and dropped 500,000 times to simulate a drop from bench height. And basically what we wanted to do was to take that and elaborate on that concept. We wanted to expand on the original messaging of the dumbbell, which was the 60 years of strength which was a nod to kind of our barbell manufacturing expertise and the unique rotation in the Evo dumbbell, and add in the aspect of the durability. So it was a natural place to start looking at the testing that we did. While we're a passionate and serious group when it comes to the development, we also have a good sense of humor, and we decided to, play on the test and make something that was fun to watch and fun to make, and while highlighting our team in the process.
I think it's great. It did just that. I mean, sometimes you see the pretty dumbbells all in their place and, weight order, and nope, we're throwing things out windows. And,
yeah, it was actually fun because it was a good community engagement for us. I mean, we got a lot of people who, wanted to learn more, and we actually saw Garage Gym Reviews go ahead and pick up where we left off and drop it from even higher heights with good success. So it was a fun campaign.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And listeners and viewers, go check that post out if you haven't seen it. Now, Surya, I know Eleiko is a global company. You sell to countries around the world. So can you speak to your marketing techniques and how they vary country to country? And do you have an example of maybe a challenge where you were marketing worldwide and how you overcame that?
Yeah, I actually believe that we share more across our global audiences than is different. We, as Rickard mentioned, we have a pretty tight position for our product. I mean, the reality is we make free weight equipment, and that portfolio is pretty consistent across all the regions that we serve. And I think that our customers that we partner with share both a passion for strength, for performance, for lifting. They share putting a premium on value and performance, and so that there's actually more that's similar across the markets than that's different. Personally, I think one of the things that can be challenging is the language and the translation, and making sure that we capture the right cultural or local flavor or local, I think, essence in our communication, and the way that we sort of work to combat that is being really closely connected to the regional teams, partnering with them in campaigns that we do, making sure that they're part of reviewing materials that go out, giving feedback to our translation team based on their input. So, I mean, at the core, I think customers, regardless of where they live, appreciate us for the things that we bring to the table. So it's actually more similar than different at this point.
That's such a great point. I guess strength is a universal language, isn't it?
Yep.
That's wonderful. Now, with COVID-19's effect on the fitness industry as a whole, have you changed your marketing material at all to compete a little bit more in the home gym market?
Well, we have. I mean, this pandemic has shifted, not only our company, but the industry in significant and fundamental ways. And we did adapt to selling more directly to the home because the demand was there. It was from systems to products to communication, all of these things adapted. And we launched a global website to sell directly to consumers and meet that need. We looked at some new products to add to our range, which included a shorter XF bar, which is, has a little bit, takes a little bit both from the shaft and the sleeve, so that you can still use it for all around performance, but have it in a tighter environment, such as a home per se.
Like the corner of a home office.
That would be one good place for it. The other thing that we did was launch a loadable dumbbell, so that you could take the discs that you perhaps were buying as part of your lifting set, but also then use them for dumbbell training. So we definitely did shift towards the home, but we also shifted for our core kind of B2B customer as well. I mean, we understand that right now that customer is faced with incredible challenges trying to figure out how to serve a population that is more anxious perhaps about returning to facilities, that there's still a lot of uncertainty around what it means to go to a gym today. And one of the things that we developed early on was this concept of a strength station, and that you can basically take either building from our half rack or our double half rack and build out, whether it's one station or many stations all lined up, to create single user spaces where you can come in and do your complete workout in the comfort of your own environment, in the comfort where you control, that you're the only person who's touching the equipment that's there between users, that you can do everything you need in one space. It also gives facilities a lot of flexibility in terms of trying to, with their scheduling of times or running small group stations in a way that, adheres to social distancing protocols that are now part of running a facility today, and also allows you to kind of work in that regular cleaning schedule, or, really giving members confidence that, they can go in, get strong the way they want to get strong, and train for the things that they want to train all in one space in a really good way. So yes, we've adapted, but not just towards home.
I love that. And that just makes things easier for the operators to have to clean the equipment once every 30 minutes or once every hour versus every time someone's touching it during one class. So that's a great point. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Now, from your point of view, and it doesn't have to be marketing here, it could be something else, but what is the ultimate value in your eyes to partnering with Eleiko?
It starts with the product. I mean, at the end of the day, we make best-in-class strength. And when you invest in a solution that has been designed and manufactured and precision crafted and built to last a lifetime, there's value in that. I think it can go beyond that. When you partner with us, you signal to your members that you are heavily invested in ensuring that they have a really great member experience at your facility, that you value quality, performance, and safety in product. And I think that's kind of at the core of it. Our company culture and history and family ownership, I think, is another important element that you gain. And when we partner with someone, we do it in an authentic and meaningful way. It's beyond building a relationship, which is at its core, but we really want to help you meet the increased demand for strength. I mean, we see, and I think even now more than ever, as kind of health and wellness comes to the forefront of our society, more people have kind of continued to understand that being strong and strength training is essential to living life to the fullest. And I think we, bring value both through a good experience with the product and the value to the member in the terms of the experience they get training.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing, Surya. We really appreciate your insight today. All right. We all know that when you're partnering with a premium brand, the follow-up support and education is a very important component of that partnership. So Rodney, can you share with us how you run your education department and the value your team provides to the business relationship?
Yeah, those are great start-off question, Sarah. So thanks for that. Let me just say it this way. So let's think of Eleiko as a body, and obviously our product is our core. That's what drives us. The marketing team's kind of the legs. That's how we're going to spread the word. And the education team is really the arms, and that's how we're going to show people how to lift our product to new heights. So just to try to bring in a little analogy into that, and if you're wondering what the head is, that's our people. That's the actual company we're really in. When we're talking about the arms from an educational standpoint, one arm is Eleiko-specific education, and then one arm is relative to the military. With the Eleiko-specific education, we've really designed that to create an experience for the customers. Surya touched on that when she's talking about our value. That's a big value. We're bringing experience to try to create and bring the equipment to life, so to speak. We do that in a couple of ways. We have a standalone education that's for any coach or trainer that may be in a facility or arena specific, and that can be done both live and online. And we have kind of two different types. We have core courses, which we call our fundamental courses for Eleiko, and that establishes kind of a coaching system that we have, a performance or understanding movement, and then a programming system. So we actually have systems at Eleiko to our education that bleed through all of our training courses. And we have training courses specific for weightlifting, powerlifting, functional training or hybrid training, and tactical training, which fit with our core products as well. We also do supportive content, which will be papers. So we have a lot of papers that we'll write that can be accessed online that are on specific topics, everything from optimizing your immunity to the benefits of strength training for runners, et cetera, et cetera. We also do webinars. And then we also have programming for products. I know Surya touched on the strength stations. So we have the strength stations, we have marketing for that, but we also, as an education team, produce programming that help people to utilize and bring that strength station to life. And we've done that kind of in a complex manner, but to make it simple for the end user by providing one-on-one training that you can do there, or up to a small group of having 4 people going through that station at one time. So trying to create variance depending on the environment or the facility and the needs and wants of the customer there. From that standpoint, the value that we bring as an education department is really, like I said, making the product come to life. We're trying to make it come to life through knowledge and practical application, as well as interacting with our community to provide them and support them with some information that's auxiliary to what they're getting in courses, perhaps. And we're just trying to create a complete Eleiko experience, and that's where the education kind of completes this whole. We have great products, we have great service, and we have great know-how.
Thank you so much for answering that, Rodney. I love the whole body analogy. That is such a great point and very easy to remember. So thank you very much. Now, Rickard has shared with me how you have a contract with the Navy. Tell us a little more about what that entails.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. So Eleiko is the education provider for what they call the NOFS program, and that's the Navy Operational Fitness and Fueling System. It's just kind of their complete package system that they offer to the Navy through a group that's called the CNIC, which is just basically your Naval Installation Command. And what we do is work with them, and essentially we have 3 primary functions in that area, Surya. And one is we revise and update that current content in the course, and we try to bring in some of the latest information if things have changed over the last, it started a decade ago, 10 years ago, so we're coming into it now, bringing in some new research, bringing in some new information, some new applications that they can build within the system that they already have. So we don't change that course, that system, we just update it and kind of upgrade it. The second thing is that we actually help to select and train new instructors for that process. So, you know, there's turnover in military because of time constraints and different things, deployments and whatnot. So we help to select and identify and then train up people who will teach that course continually going forward. And then we also develop new courses that the CNIC can then deliver to the Navy itself. And this particular year, we've developed a course called the Performance Coach. And then we are in the process and finishing up with one that's on aquatics training, which is really interesting because it's all about how to train in water. So that's been really good. And then we also have a long-standing or a still standing agreement with the Army to work with them to provide some tactical training. The whole COVID situation has thrown that into a loop because a lot of the installations are kind of shut down to outside people coming in. So we'll pick that up next year.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing. Now, Rodney, in your opinion, and again, same as Surya, it doesn't have to be just for education. It might be, but in your opinion, what is the true value of partnering with Eleiko?
Well, as Surya touched on, she hit on some key words, and one of them is the authenticity of who we are. And that really stems from when you get with Eleiko and you're in a relationship with us, you have to remember that we have a family-owned company. So with that family-owned company, we have family values. And I think that's really important because that's what brings the authenticity to life for us. And we live and we believe in building and nurturing relationships that are true and authentic. And that's what we're bringing to the table. So first and foremost, we're bringing an authentic relationship. It's who we are. And it's the way the company is actually built. It's really cool to see when everyone's together. So with that, we also have, obviously, there's a long history of premium products. So we've already talked about premium products. We're a trusted and reliable partner because we have a long-standing relationship in the industry, over 60 years of being in the industry, doing what we do. So we haven't deviated and gone off into a lot of different tangents. We're still doing what we set out to do. So you have the trusted, reliable partner. You have the proven track record. But I think in this time, Sarah, it's going beyond that now because people, if you survive this whole COVID transition time, that probably means you're trusted, and that probably means that you have a pretty good product to begin with. So it's going beyond that. And I think that's where Eleiko has a really interesting and unique commodity, and that's that we're kind of a one-stop shop to where we're able to provide you with an experience that is safe because we've been innovative to think about that. we're engaging people, and that's where the education comes in. We're trying to show you how to lift things to new heights. We're trying to teach you how to raise the bar. And that's just not a physical term, that's a totality term. And also something that's going to transform them. It's an experience. It's a purposeful engagement experience that's going to give you the opportunity to be transformed in a safe, engaging, that's going to help build your resiliency and strength through life.
Wow. Beautifully put, Rodney. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Now, Eleiko has been in the news. We saw a press release go out. And Rickard, I want you to have a chance to speak to this. So you all have recently partnered with Melander's Mechanical Workshop. So share with us just a little bit how this acquisition takes your business to the next level.
Yes, it's a local workshop in Halmstad, and we manufacturing and making sure that we can develop these best-in-class products is important for us. And through this acquisition, we are able to add expertise to our team. They have decades of experience with manufacturing metal fabrication and products. They have been a supplier for us, and we're very, very glad to be able to bring them in under the Eleiko umbrella. So like I said, they add expertise to us. They're also allowing us to be much, much quicker and meet the demands that have significantly increased in the last, obviously this year has been very, very good for us to be able to increase the demand. We're also able to prototype much better, making sure that we become even better at, finding innovative solutions to products and being able to prototype them, test them out quicker, making sure we send them out to a customer and customers all over the world to make sure to test them out before we actually put them into production. So it's a really exciting thing to bring this whole team in under the Eleiko umbrella here.
That's wonderful. Controlling one more step of the process. I love it. Now, you and I had a great conversation about who sets the trends, the consumer or the manufacturer. So speak to our listeners and our viewers about how you all strive to create harmony between your technology and products team and the end user.
Yeah, and I think this is a really interesting question and a discussion about, where do the trends come from? Who decides on what people want to, how people want to train, and why does something become successful and something's not? And I think I really think that the way you really develop something that, let's say, talking about it for a commercial gym, you got to figure out what the members are looking for, what the people that are training there are looking for. And then there has to be a little bit of obviously people that knows that are gym owners and operators, and they know that. But we as suppliers, we need to have that type of communication or conversation together with these gym owners, so we know this, so that we can say, we have some ideas. We continuously look to improve on our products and develop new things, but by having this really integrated conversations with gym owners and understanding that and understanding that they can trust on us to come up with the new trend, and we can trust on them. It has to be a harmony here, and a conversation so the closer we can work with gym owners and also involving members, end users, and all those, the more conversations and open discussions we can have, the more we can push the industry forward, develop new trends, develop things that ultimately get people more active, because that's the ultimate goal. We want to get people more active. We want to get them stronger, fitter, healthier. So by having these conversations and involving so many of stakeholders and people that are invested in this, the more successful we become as an industry, I think.
Wonderful key takeaway and a great, great, great note to end on. So thank you, Rodney, Surya, Rickard. Thank you so much for all the content that you've shared with us today. Thank you all for sharing with our FBP family on why Eleiko is the choice of champions and how you all raise the bar in all that your company does. So if someone wants to learn more, what is the best email or phone number for them to inquire?
So that would be, if you're in the US, you can email usa@eleiko.com. Anywhere else, you can email info@eleiko.com, and you reach out. And the best place to find your local rep or contact number for our local company would be to go to eleiko.com, which is our website.
Perfect. And it's ELEIKO.
Yes, correct.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for tuning in today to hear the value proposition for raising the bar with Eleiko. Tune in November 20th for our next episode to hear the value proposition for Trainer Eyes. And to show we walk the talk at the Fitness Business Podcast, all resources and links for today's show can be found at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com, adding value to our FBP family. Until next month, what you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. See you next month.